All right, hello and welcome to the Sunday League Podcast, your home for all things MLB and Fantasy Baseball, presented by Small World Media. Today we are doing a State of the Union, both for MLB, playoff picture, standings, things of that nature, as well as our personal Sunday League, Fantasy League. So we're going to jump into that. Our trade deadline was this week, as well as MLB trade deadline. So that's been a lot of what's been going on. So we want to kind of bring you guys into that, get you guys a little bit more in tune with what the Sunday League is and why we're doing this. If you haven't listened to the first episode, we encourage you to go back and do that just so you know who we are, a little bit about us, a little bit about the league. But yeah, so Kamish, you want to take it away?
Yeah, so we had our trade deadline a couple days after the actual MLB trade deadline. So this league is a trade-happy league. So even though that the trade deadline was this past week,
Thursday,
there's trades going on. Yeah, there's trades going on all season long. So the trade deadline was honestly just another day. It seemed like for in the life of the Sunday League fantasy league.
It was a little more active, I'd say.
It was a little bit more active. We got responses from the Ghost.
Casper's alive.
The ghost came.
Speaking of Casper, when he texted me, this league just isn't for me. Like, there's too much dropping and stuff. I go to look up, ads and stuff. 150, 137, 112, then, 14.
Yeah.
That dude just only added 14 players the whole year. Oh, it cracked me up.
So, yeah. It's just been fun. Trade deadline was a blast, as it always is. Something about our league that we do is we also trade picks, like draft picks. Not a lot of trades that I know of really do that. I think it just brings in a whole other element for our league. It kind of transitions into next year if everybody makes the playoffs, but at the same time, if you don't think by making a few trades here and there, if you can't produce in the playoffs, we kind of give the opportunity to sell, I guess you could say, quote unquote sell, and just give away a lot of your players for the next year with the draft picks. Thomas, I know you were heavy on the draft picks this year. I don't know if you have a draft pick in the first 5 rounds next year.
I do. But after that, I don't.
Okay. Well,
I'll have 4, 15, 16, and 17 round picks. So that's all that matters.
Gotcha. So let's because I wasn't very active in the trade deadline because for some reason nobody really wanted to be active.
You weren't budging.
Which is okay, I've just been very unlucky, but that's neither here nor there. But I'll go back. I'll hand it over to Thomas and James. Kale was actually very active as well. Let's flip over to Thomas though. I feel like right now he is the favorite. I will say that as a commissioner, he is the favorite in my eyes.
Hey. That's why you're a trash commissioner.
Man fraud
speaks.
But yeah, Thomas, he kind of had a little bit of everything at the trade deadline with the trading picks, with making last minute moves. Our trade deadline was at 3 a.m. So I mean, there was trades happening all the way up to midnight, almost 1 a.m. So
I was asleep.
Negotiations going much after. And then James wouldn't budge, so I went to bed.
I was asleep at 9:30 because that's how comfortable I am.
I sent both Kale and Chance, who's not on the podcast, but probably will make some appearances eventually. Both of them at 10 o'clock. I sent them both up texts, and neither of them responded. So
I was in high school again.
Anyways, yeah. I wanted to go over quickly the league standings just to kind of give everybody a picture. So right now, in first place is King Hasbullah, which would be James's team. He is 11-5. He's got more points scored than me, so he's technically in first. I'm also 11-5 in second place. My team is the Blooper Ratios.
How many points do you have?
I have, as of last week, 12,829.
How many points does fifth place have?
13,127. That's called
You're
efficiency.
Got more
anyways,
points.
So third place is Beats Got the Juice, which would be Casey. He's sitting at 9-7, gonna be 9-8 once the scores are finalized. Casey has lost five straight in the league, so Kamish is not looking good for him. Should have done a little more, in my opinion.
Sell now
At the deadline.
I tried.
Drop every.
I was talking about the stocks.
You didn't sell anything. Fourth place is Chance's team at 8-8. He has 12,000 score points. Fifth place is Old Kale, Freddy's Revenge at 7-9.
Damn, that'd be 8 and 9.
About to be 8-9. He's beating Casey this week. And then sixth place, the Ghost, Birds on the Bat, Ethan.
Casper.
Dog, we appreciate you at least trying. Sort of. Thank you for your sacrifice.
We appreciate you taking the spot.
Yeah, we appreciate you filling out the league. But yeah, I think
without you, buddy.
The big story, obviously, of our trade deadline was Ethan selling. He's 2-14, and I don't
first
checked his team in the past 2 months.
It was abuse.
Yeah, he sold off some players. Kale got a pretty good haul from him, so I'll let Kale take over from here.
Yeah. Okay, so when was the what was the date of the trade deadline?
Our deadline was Thursday,
Okay, so
4th?
Wednesday, I texted him. I said, "Listen, buddy, we're at the bottom. We have to come together
It's so dumb.
to beat these losers." He goes, "Let's do it. Let's roll." He's a dog. Okay. But I'm like, everybody gets in the playoffs, so I'm going to give him some decent players. But I'm definitely going to win this trade because let's be honest, he's not going to win. But I get two really good starting pitchers in Corbin Burns and Clayton Kershaw, who's on the IL right now. I get Logan Webb, who we'll see what happens to the Giants,
He's a dog.
and then Lance Lynn, we'll see. And I give him, and then I get Francisco Lindor, but I give him Matt McClain from Cincinnati Reds, who's a great rookie, having a great year, and a team in the fight for Francisco Lindor, who knows what he's going to do. I give him Marcus Stroman. Remind me.
Hold on, I got it. Marcus Stroman, Christian Javier, Kyle Bradish, Lucas Giolito, Matt McClain.
Horrible.
I mean, listen,
James, that's very fair.
especially
This way to make any
for
trade to the deadline if you think that's
especially
fair.
for a sell-all team, I gave him a chance, and I'm thinking, okay, at least I give him a chance. You know, they can get hot. Lucas Giolito can, maybe figure it out.
We'll see.
Then 3-4 hours later, King Guys Buller is traded with Birds on the Bats. He freaking sold me out. He freaking sold me out. I guarantee you. I don't know who's paying his buy-in or what, but I was a little disappointed. But at least I was first in his heart. And then me and James made a trade.
What was that
Yeah,
trade?
that was before everything.
Michael, yeah, but it was like 3 days before. We were into the trade deadline.
And this one actually processed, believe it or not.
Yeah, because Kale didn't forget. Oh, let me add somebody
like the
307.
one from last episode, yeah.
You act like that's a rare thing. Every morning. Listen, hold on.
Yeah, show us.
You gotta be careful with that roster spot, baby.
307.
You gotta, and it's
every day.
click. And it's click.
Every day.
Wait, what's the second one?
I haven't got a full night's sleep in 2 years.
What's the second one for?
8:18. That's just because I try to wake up that time every morning.
Oh my goodness.
There's no use waking
That's
up
an
early.
everyday thing. I'm a grinder.
Hey, it's a part-time job, baby. Yeah, grinder in 5th place, but it's
Part-time
okay.
Hey, listen. We're on Freddy's Revenge. We're on a revenge tour.
We'll see about it. I think you definitely got better at the deadline, 100%.
He got a way
I was-
a lot
I'd
better.
put you second.
I've got the second most points in this league. Don't say I got way better. I've just been the most unlucky person on the planet.
Who has the first? Who has the first most points in the league?
Because you got 37 pitchers. You don't have any batters. Next year, Casey. That was another thing. Next year, we need to make it where you have to have a full roster.
That's not an option.
You can't do that, baby.
Listen, you pay a fine. Then
That's definitely being fraud.
No, I'm okay with that. We can speak about that. Yeah.
It's not going to pass. It won't.
it's gonna pass.
Well,
chance.
if you're the only one that says no and 5 other people say yes, then it's going to pass.
I'll find another way to beat you clowns.
Not a
Back-to-back
chance.
champ right here, and I'm already in first place. I'll take the hate. I literally got text from. I literally read the message from Thomas to Ethan and Kale from Ethan saying, "Oh, we got to take down James. Screw that dude."
I said take down.
Don't trade with him.
Talking that talk.
You both been talking that talk.
Jose Ramirez's tail.
Hey, Jose Ramirez is on my team. That's all that matters. So that kind of jumps into my trades. So I made 2 trades with Chance, who is not on the pod. So I gave him Mitch Keller and a 10th round pick next year in exchange for Justin Verlander and a 14th round pick next year. That was a couple days before the deadline. Because Mitch Keller has gone drastically downhill the past month, and Verlander is trending very much up and is on a much better team now. And then the second trade I made with him, so I gave him
Blockbuster.
Ellie De La Cruz, Juan Soto, Luis Arraez, Josh Young, Taijuan Walker, and a 6th round pick next year in exchange for Jose Ramirez, Nate Lau, Zach Wheeler, and JD Martinez, and a 12th round pick next year. So that one I was really I really was targeting Wheeler and Ramirez, and then he was wanting a higher pick, and so we started.
As he always does.
Yeah, we were starting to negotiate a little bit, and then I wanted Lau, but he was like, "I'll give you Martinez," and I was like, "What about adding Lau on, and I'll give you Josh Young?" And he was like, "I'll do it if you make it," because it was originally going to be an 8th round pick. He's like, "I'll do it if you make it a 6th round pick." And honestly, I was really more trying to get rid of Josh Young than I was trying to get Nate Lau. But it was a good replacement at corner infield. So that was my deal with him. And then I made a trade with Ethan for Alexis Diaz. I get Alexis Diaz. I gave him Carlos Estevez, Bobby Miller, and Jordan Montgomery. So I was in a 2-man race for Diaz, probably 3-man or 4-man race for Diaz, but mainly with Casey because I was texting Ethan back and forth, and he was like, "Well, Casey wants him, but I might give him to you." And I was like, "Yeah, just give me him and give him all the hitters you have."
Screw you,
So
screw you, Ethan.
that's what I did. So I had to keep upping my offer. But the original offer was just Montgomery and Estevez, and he was like, "Well, Casey wants to give me more," and I was like, "I'll add Bobby Miller." And he was like, "Okay, that'll do it." And I was like, "Thank you, sir. You're a saint."
2 things. Can we talk about how everybody's been hounding me for, Kill's got a whole new direction? Thomas traded his whole entire team. He has literally a brand new team, and we're not saying anything. This man is cutthroat to the. And the second, the reason, like going back to Mitch Keller and Justin Verlander, the reason like being on a good team is big is because in our league wins are 5 points. So like that
And
that's
quality
big,
starts.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
8 points.
It's tough to like, for example,
Dylan Cease.
Yeah, like he can throw. He can throw 7 innings, but get a loss, which is -5 points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a big one for going for Verlander for sure, especially because Mitch Keller started off really hot this year and was striking out dudes left and right, but like the last month he has been very bad, and Verlander's trending up. So that was my deadline. I think that was all the deals I made, but I was really just trying to bolster my lineup because my lineup was
You mean
just kind of
overhaul your
average.
lineup?
Yeah, just kind of overhaul my lineup because Ellie De La Cruz. Okay, Ellie De La Cruz has been in the league like a month and has over 70 strikeouts.
Yeah,
which is ridiculous. So I was just trying to get him off my lineup, and then Juan Soto was doing all right. He was actually really hot when I traded him, but he was a piece I was willing to move to get Jose Ramirez back. So that was me, James. If you got anything you want to
I got
tell
something.
about your deadline.
So my deadline was, how do I put this?
Quiet.
Not as good as I thought it would. So I was texting Ethan. Yeah, you cry all you want. You're in 5th place. Get out of here. So I texted Ethan. I'm like, hey. I say, hey, so you want to, I look back at messages, but they're probably, I say, hey, so you want to trade? He goes, yeah, I'm thinking of a trade with for Thomas and Kale. I'm like, oh, say less. So we're going back in trades, and I'm talking about Alexis Diaz, and I'm like, so who are you going to trade with? He goes, oh, I'm thinking about Thomas. I'm like, who's he offering? He said he's probably offering 3. I said, I'll give you 3 pitchers and an outfielder, or hell, I'll even give you 4 pitchers. He goes, wow, that's tempting. I like that. I was all right, let's make a deal. This man goes, I already gave Thomas my word. Why is this man so nice? Get out of here. This is a competitive lead. I don't care if you gave the man your
Good
word.
man. Good man.
I don't care.
Oh, that's why I can respect. I don't like him very much, but I can respect him.
No chance. And then back.
I'm dealing with a bunch of heathens.
But
Good
my
man.
trades, like we were talking about, me and Kale finally were able to make a trade because he decided to
I
count
got
25 for
messages
once.
a day.
Hey, not my fault. You returned them, so you actually sent 76.
Nope.
Do the math. So
I was talking about text messages. You idiot.
that's what I was talking about. All right.
Don't make me.
So I
don't
sent-
make me
I
put messages.
I
I'll
sent
cancel this right now.
I sent him Carlos Rodon, Austin
Trash.
Riley, Waka, and Giolito.
Trash.
You accepted it, so you can't even say trash. And you gave me
Yeah, because
Elder.
you're never gonna give up.
Yeah, but you gave me Bryce Elder, who can't strike anyone out. He'll get the wins, but that's
Not
it.
true.
You got me Rafael Devers, which I'll take Riley over Devers any day of the week. And Musgrove's
Nope.
probably done for the year.
Listen, did it come out my favorite? Allegedly.
Allegedly. All right, I definitely made another trade with Birds on the bat after, y'all gutted him. Let me see. Here we go. So
Don't say
after
y'all.
going back for my sloppy thirds and fourths, I
Sloppy.
was able to get Pete Alonso and Urias, and I gave up Savali, Naylor, and Grayson Rodriguez. So not a bad return, but
Typical James trade.
I mean, how is that a typical James trade? I literally got what you guys left behind for me.
Yeah, but you tried to screw him over.
Hey,
How
get the
did I
last
screw him
dog to the
over?
bowl.
I was the first one to the ball. I'm the one that first made a trade with Casper. Texting him, you guys were like, "Oh, don't trade with James. He's freaking won back-to-back years." You turned him
Never once
against
said
me.
that.
Yeah,
Never
I have the
once said,
messages.
"Oh,
I have
Oh,
the
he won
messages.
do what we gotta
Prove
do.
it.
Could not care less if you went back. I don't care if you came in last place. I'd still tell him not to trade with you.
But I think I had a successful season so far. The deadline was okay, I guess. I wanted a couple things more to happen, but still in first place. He's trending up. We can take it from here. I got Yuri because Thomas dropped him a couple weeks ago. He's starting on Monday, so I got a 2-start week out of him. That's going to help me out a lot. I got Sale on the IL. I got Romano on the IL. I got Shane Bieber early in the year, and he's not panning out like I want him to be. And then I also have, who else on my IL? I have another one. And then, Musgrove, who's probably going to come back hopefully 1 week of the playoffs, but we'll see how it goes. But I'm feeling good. But Casey, you can take it away because I know you had no moves in the trade deadline, but I saw Beats got a juice in there, so see what you got.
I had one. So my deadline was obviously very, very quiet, as mentioned already. Apparently, I'm not somebody that likes to give up a lot of pieces, but I request for a lot. I don't see it that way. Kale can back me up here, but
You're a little worse than me, but you're still respectful.
Oh, you're the worst. You're the worst.
Yeah, you're the worst, but I can respect you for it.
I'm talking about
So-
you, Kale.
Nope.
So, anyways, try to give
So
up,
anyway.
guys. I've just been super, super, super unlucky as of late. To be honest, I was trying to trade Shane McClanahan, and I had deals in line and everything like that.
3.
Exactly, I had deals in line, confirmations, possibly all this kind of stuff. And then what happens right after the game? He gets crapped on. They say he's day to day. So then that sends everybody into a frenzy. Oh my gosh, I'm not going to trade for him. So obviously now I'm stuck with a guy that is probably going to have a season-ending surgery. It is what it is.
Okay, there we go.
Yes, Thomas.
I was just gonna say they also said Max Fried had forearm tightness and he just missed 2 months. So
Yeah,
That's
I
what
would say
freaked
that's.
me out.
I'll say that's why. That's what I was gonna say. Explain it, because if it was just like hamstring or some crap, I'd be like, okay, I'll still take him.
Yeah.
But forearm tightness is a tough one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was praying that y'all wouldn't see that day to day next to his name, but anyways,
every
bet
every
you
30
were.
seconds
I bet
I
you
check.
were.
it is what it is. But ended up making a trade late in the closing seconds of the trade deadline with Casper. The first trade, so like Thomas was saying, I was asking for Estevez.
Diaz.
And
Diaz. I had Estevez.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Diaz. Thank you for correcting me. Yes, I was asking for Diaz, and I was asking for also 3 or 4 hitters as well. Now, what I was giving up was quite a bit. I believe my trade offer was Mike Trout, which I know he's on the IL, but he's taking dry swings. He's still the GOAT, all that kind of stuff.
I'll try to get him as well.
And I told you could have had him. But anyways, I had him. I had Julio Rodriguez, who, if y'all haven't noticed, is turning it around in the past month. He is doing really, really well. Those 2 guys, Tariq Skubal, Emmanuel Clase, David Bednar, MC, and Dylan Cease.
Hey, Glass now
was my
right?
That was my offer to Ethan.
Birds on bats, yeah.
Yeah, to Ethan for Alexis Diaz, Aaron Judge, Bryce Harper, what was his name? Jose Altuve, Arenado, and Pete Alonso. So that was my offer. Basically, just get a brand new lineup and everything like that.
Interesting. Switch things up.
He said no.
Dog.
He said no because he said I already promised Thomas that I'll give him Diaz.
Such a good guy.
Like, whatever.
Gosh.
Like, whatever. Just give me the hitters then, I guess. So I made this trade, which I selfishly, and looking back at it,
I'm looking at it right now. It's horrible.
It's absolutely awful.
Yeah, it's the
you want
worst
me to
I've
read it
heard.
You want me to read it off?
I was looking after myself and not even caring who I hurt. So I'm sorry,
Selfish.
Ethan, if you listen to this.
Horrible
selfish.
commissioner.
I'm gonna like y'all didn't do the same thing.
I'm gonna read this off.
Not
for
as
you.
I cared about this man.
I gave him 3 pitchers for 1. Anyways, so Casey gives him Tariq Skubal, O'Neal Cruz, who is
That's not bad.
okay. That's not bad. Not bad. O'Neal Cruz, who is still on the 60-day IL, and Bryce Miller for Jose Altuve, Bryce Harper, and Aaron Judge.
And the guys I got, one has half a leg, the other has half an arm, the other has a half a full body. So I mean, like,
Still
Taller than you.
all stars.
He's taller than me by an inch. Okay, but that's with the cleats on.
So you have
Anyways,
less than half a body. Anyways.
allegedly. So, if you look at it, our league is pitcher heavy. Pitchers get more points than hitters. So, I mean, you can say it's bad all you want, but
Not for long.
So, but yeah, that was my deadline, and now we're moving on. So,
Moving on.
Bigger and better things.
So that's the Sunday League. That's the Sunday League update. We'll kind of sporadically give you guys kind of updates as where we're at, especially once playoffs hit, so that you guys can follow along. But now we want to kind of jump into MLB standings, playoff picture, wild card, especially almost a week out from the deadline. A lot of teams that made moves have jumped up. A lot of teams that also made moves have jumped down, unfortunately. So we want to kind of talk about those. Yeah, let's jump in. I think first off, let's talk about the AL East. We've got Baltimore is 3 games up on the Rays at 70-42. They picked up Jack Flaherty, who was very good in his first start.
Yeah, people were going after that, like saying they didn't do enough. I was like, why give away your whole farm system?
They didn't really need to.
I think they could have done more, but I think their target was Cease, but I don't think they were willing to meet the White Sox asking price for him. So, but yeah, I mean they got Fujinami like a week before the deadline even, and they've moved him from a starter role to a pen role for them, which I think is a much better fit for him than he was in Oakland. So, they did a couple little things that I think are good. So yeah,
I see that.
Next.
Let's see.
next we got Central, which really nothing really happened in the AL Central. I mean,
bunch of flower states.
did the Twins make any moves? They traded with Miami. Who did they get from Miami?
They gave up Lopez, and then they got
Dylan
they gave
Floro?
up Jorge
Is that right?
Lopez, and we gave them Floro.
Yeah.
We just swapped relievers.
Yeah.
So nothing
That's
really
what I
huge.
Those are joke games.
So that was all they did. But they are 4.5 games up on the Guardians, who had a decent deadline-ish. Got rid of Josh Bell, but they got one of the top shortstop prospects from
Nailed it.
Miami. Words are hard. They traded Savali and got a top prospect from the Rays. They're 4.5 games back, and they're also 4 games under 500. That was pretty much it from. I mean, I guess like the White Sox sold a good bit of pieces. Tigers didn't really do much. Royals obviously didn't do much. Not a lot going on in the AL Central. In the West, I think the West was probably the division that did the most in the AL, at least. Rangers obviously got Scherzer, got Chapman. Who else did they get? Montgomery.
Yeah. They added a lot.
Or not Scherzer. No, they got Scherzer. Verlander went to the Astros. Who also didn't do a ton other than Scherzer. So that was honestly surprising.
The
But
Astros got Verlander.
Yeah.
Gosh,
Verlander.
get on it.
words are hard, man.
You're supposed to be the smart one in this group. There's me and James, and then Lot, and then there's Casey Thomas.
Dogs. Yeah, so Rangers. As it stands, Rangers sit 2.5 games up on the Astros at 66 and 46. The Mariners are 6 games back, and they are 8 games over 500 at 60 and 52. Which honestly, their deadline surprised me because they got rid of both Pollock and Seawald. Seawald makes more sense because I think they've had Munoz just knocking on the door for that closer spot, anyways.
They could afford to get rid of him.
So, Pollock, I honestly hadn't paid a ton of attention to how his season was going, so I guess they just said, we'll get rid of him, see what happens.
I think he's been hurt, but I could be wrong.
Maybe.
He was.
I know they were looking to sell more because I heard Hernandez was on the block, and I want to say 1 or 2 of their pitchers were. So
Ty France was too.
Ty France,
What happened? I swear, last year he might have been the best. Like, because Luis Rod's the best bat to ball skills. But in my opinion, last year it was Ty France and like Jordan for like everything, power. But Ty France's swing is so pretty, man.
Yeah,
it is.
I love his hands and everything. Like, because I'll be honest, I like handsy swings more so, especially nowadays. Because you just see the hitman crap, but like. You're 67 getting a wiffle ball thrown underhand to you. My 6-month niece couldn't hit that. But
it works for Judge.
Yeah, and Judge, he says like Judge just does this. His hands are in front of his face. You're telling me he hits from right here? No, his hands go back.
Mm-hmm.
Neither here nor there. But Hitman, come on the podcast so I can prove you wrong. Yeah, because I know everything. I play D3 baseball.
Master baseball sensei.
Yeah, I play D3 baseball barely. But yeah, I was surprised they didn't do more. But I think because did they make the playoffs last year? Did they make the wild card?
Yes.
Yeah.
They come back winning against the Blue Jays.
So I think if they're in the same position next year, they'll have a fire sale. But like this year, they still have that hype of maybe we can make it. They don't want to absolutely blow it for their fans.
Yeah.
They're only 2.5 back of the wild card, so
yeah, they're pretty close.
Yeah, they're not looking too bad.
Yeah, they're a good team.
They're doing much better, surprisingly, than. Well, I guess honestly, I shouldn't be surprised. No one should be surprised because they're the Angels, but the Angels have dropped to a game under 500 and 10.5 back in the division, and I believe they're 7 games back in the wild card.
They
where
lost
at the deadline they were 4 games back. So
yeah, they haven't won a game since the trade deadline.
But
They
who
lost
have
6
they
straight.
played? Because I know they played the Braves.
They do have one of the hardest schedules the rest of the way too. So
Okay, so yeah, it's gonna be
that
rough
makes
one.
you think like, was it worth it to try to go for it when
Yeah.
you're? Because I
You
think they've still got sets against a lot against Houston, a lot against Texas, a
The
good
Rays.
bit against the Rays. So
Nice.
they've got a rough rest of the way to make it through. So, anyways, so that's the AL West. We'll jump into the NL.
Thank
Braves
God.
had a fairly quiet deadline. They're sitting at 10.5 games
Brad
up on
Hand,
the
are you kidding
Phillies.
me?
Didn't
We got
need
Brad
to.
Hand and
IL.
did we get anyone else? Who else did we get?
That Pierce Johnson.
Pierce Johnson and then
and
Hearn,
then,
who we then flipped for
the-
Nicky Lopez. That's right.
No, we flipped the lefty for.
Hearn, yeah, Taylor Hearn.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you say Taylor. Yeah. You know,
So we
I thought
flipped
Nicky
him.
Lopez was sorry. Like I thought Nicky Lopez was magical from the Cubs.
Oh yeah.
That's
yeah.
why I was saying like, oh dude, I'm not mad at this. And then I figured it was Nicky Lopez. And I was like,
Yeah, which I did see. Nicky Lopez has one of the highest outs above average or something like that
yeah.
for defensive runs saved in the league over the past few years. So that'll be
And
good for
Number
defensive.
two, because even today, Ozzie Albies, Ozzie Albies is my favorite player of the Braves. His defense is honestly like there was a play today. It was a soft line drive, and all he had to do was lay out for it. That sounds stupid, but like he fell down, but like, he didn't lay out for it. I was like, dude, just give me your all. I know you're only like 5'4", but
Mhm.
we need every bit of that 5'4".
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. Still love him. Still hits nukes, but maybe he's gonna get defensive replaced.
We'll see.
And I can't believe he has that throwing motion at second base.
Yeah. It's weird
Oh.
coming off because he won a Gold Glove like 2 years ago, didn't he?
Yeah. Oh, he's
Yeah.
well because when he first came up, he was They said like, oh, this dude's strictly defense.
Yeah. I don't know. That's weird, but we'll figure it out. Anyways, that's the Braves. Not a ton of moves, but they also got Max Fried back. Kyle Wright is making his way back, so we'll see about that. The Phillies had a decent deadline. Picked up a couple guys. Nothing crazy. Marlins had a pretty active deadline. James, if you want to jump in on that.
Yeah.
Anything there?
I mean, the guys we added were definitely things that we needed. With like Lopez and Robertson in the pen. I mean, those weren't
Berger.
bad ads. I would say Berger and Bell were the best ads that we needed just to fill up our lineup to get more runs in. We kind of stayed with the Rangers 2 out of 3 games. We didn't score anything today, but we stayed close to them. It's just the bullpen is still shaky, even with the addition of Robertson and Lopez, and then not bringing up Yuri until Monday. I think that was, I don't know. I know with time management and stuff like that, but if you're making a push, you got to have your best starters in the lineup, in my opinion. Especially with I know we just played the Braves, we just played the Rangers. I know we got the Rays coming up. We just got tough teams. I know we're about to play the Reds. I think you got to put your best team out there to try and make a run because now we're 14 games back. We're still only half a game out of the wild card. We have lost 4 straight. We just got to get hot.
Yeah, just give up
stay
on the division,
consistent. Oh yeah, we're not.
Long gone.
No, we lost the division game 1.
You might as well be the Oakland Athletics in the division.
No, but I mean the wild card's our best bet. We're only half game, like I said, so we could still slip in. We just got to get hot at the right time. Hopefully the bullpen, because I think the bullpen is the main thing why we were up 5-0 on the Rangers. And then once Skip took out Soriano, it was home run derby in Texas. My gosh, we lost the lead like that. So it's the bullpen that's got to. I mean, even the ad of Weathers, I didn't understand that at all. Giving up a prospect and Garrett Cooper for freaking Weathers. I don't care if his dad played for Miami; it was pretty good. I don't like Weathers at all. I mean, he's only 22, but I mean, we'll keep him. We'll probably throw him in the pen. But yeah, I know. But
It's baseball.
Find the zone.
Play church.
But gotta get hot. That's all I'm gonna say. That's it.
And too, I think bullpen is kind of like you get hot or cold at points. Some stay hot
Or
longer, some stay cold
freezing.
longer. Yeah.
Braves bullpen was not good today. I'll tell you that.
Thanks a lot, Call Me Hugh.
Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, the rest of the East. I mean, the Mets had the sale. Fire sale sold everybody. Washington Nationals kind of didn't really do much.
No, they won 4
They
straight.
didn't really expect much. They did sell Candelario, but that was really about the only move they did.
Yeah.
That's it.
So we'll jump into the Central. Brewers are a game and a half up on both Chicago and on the Reds.
Because that dog Andrew
Chicago has found their way back. Brewers went and picked up Canna and Chafin. So they had a pretty
and Carlos Santana. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, got Woodruff off the IL.
And that was my next comment. They also got Woodruff off the IL, who had 9 Ks today. They did lose, but
how many
he
points
didn't get any
did
run support. He got me 24 today.
Yeah, that's cute. Max Fried got me
No
42.
one wanted him. Well, okay, I'm sorry.
Trust me, I wanted him.
Lie.
Your asking price was way too high.
Yeah.
Oh,
Here,
I
Woodruff.
thought you were me, Casey. Yeah. Screw you, Thomas. I was like, what did I do, Casey? Yeah.
He was a top 3 round pick, but whatever. Here nor there.
Yeah, so was Michael
The
Harris.
Pistons.
That was your fault.
Yeah, Brandon Woodruff was your fault.
Your fault. Anyways, but yeah, Woodruff coming back, I think, is big for them.
Yep.
Cubs are the only team in Central with a positive run differential, and they are in second place. So,
okay, listen, no, real quick. Brandon Woodruff has gotten you 58.5 points, and he was a top 3 pick. Michael Harris has gotten me.
Okay, he's been hurt since. Okay, and the 58 points was in the first 2 games he pitched.
360 points. So hop off my nuts, okay?
Oh my goodness. He also hasn't been out since the second week of the season. So, anyways.
Don't care.
Man, I know everyone was giving me hate for everyone's like, oh, the Reds are taking over the Central. Yeah, they're in 3rd. They've lost 6 straight, and I knew the Brew Crew was in.
Cubs.
You might have said the
still
Cubs.
only a game and a half back.
Well, when
they've also lost 6 straight.
We were doing
Brewers
mocks.
still
I
only a
said
game and a half
the
back,
Cardinals.
Brewers have added. Brewers are hot.
Brewers are
Reds.
3-7 in the last 10.
Red. Cincinnati's 3-7. I mean,
They
hot
are,
going
the Cubs
up.
are 7 and
Yeah,
3.
they're hot for the
I mean,
NL Central, yeah.
I mean, hot going up with their addition.
Hot for that division,
Reds-
sure. 3-7.
Oh gosh, they're piping hot. Get them out of the oven.
Oh my goodness.
You know what I meant.
Anyways, the Reds had a pretty quiet deadline. Surprisingly, I figured they would go out and get one of the starting pitchers out there, but they didn't. So we'll see how they hold up the rest of the year. I figured they were going to add, but they didn't. I'm surprised. Cubs
They got Hunter Green coming back.
Yeah, Hunter Green's coming back. The Cubs added a pretty good bit. They added Candelario at 3rd. Who else did they get? Or was that it?
I think that was
They
it.
just kept some guys. They kept
They kept Bellinger. They kept
Bellinger.
Stroman. I want to say they added someone else, but I'm not sure.
I think so. I think it was a bullpen arm.
Yeah, they are 7-3 in their last 10, and they have been red hot. They took 2 or 3 from the Braves this weekend, so yeah, they're making their way back because they were almost a second or an afterthought 2-3 weeks ago. So, anyways, we'll jump into the West. Dodgers are sitting atop the West, 3.5 games above the Giants at 63-46. Giants are 61-51. The Diamondbacks have fallen off a cliff, and they are 57-56. 8 games out of the division, and they're a game ahead of the Padres, who the Padres added a good bit at the deadline, are 55-56. They're 7-3 in their last 10, and I'll jump over to the wild card. Currently, they are
2.5 games.
Three games out of a wild card
games?
spot. So I think the Padres adding at the deadline is starting to pay off. So we'll see. I think.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Go ahead.
You got it. Go ahead. Our fearless leader.
Yeah.
What'd I do?
You left us on a cliffhanger.
Oh my gosh.
You said you think the Padres, and then
No, the Diamondbacks.
Whatever. The Diamondbacks are a game and a half out of a wild card.
Yeah, we got that.
Marlins are a half game out.
Mhm.
Cincinnati and Cubs are tied for the third spot, which leaves the Giants and Phillies 3 games up on the rest. So,
Yeah, can we talk about the Phillies real quick?
yeah, go for it.
Because last year last year they got hot, but they got hot a couple weeks before the deadline.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. It's kind of like the Cardinals for me. I can't see them not getting hot at some point, but it's like at what point in time you just say, it's not going to happen.
Yeah,
especially Trey Turner. Trey Turner is the most disappointing point.
Yeah, he
for me,
is.
especially after the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah.
That man can do no wrong. So,
yeah. I mean, I think the Phillies had a rough start, and then honestly, since mid-June, I think they've just been very consistent.
Yeah,
and that's been they've been winning series. They haven't been blowing people out. They haven't been sweeping a ton of people, but they've been consistently winning series, and that's what because they were under 500 until mid-June, and then they've kind of turned around. They're 10 games up above 500 now. So I think Harper coming back really just kind of gave a spark to that lineup. It probably was a huge clubhouse deal as well. So just boosting them around and then making them want to go for it. And then I know Wheeler and Nola both had really slow starts to start off the year. So, and they've both turned it around and have been pretty solid since then.
I'll try to get both of them from chance.
Yeah, and I think Turner's going to get hot here to end the season.
He's got to.
I mean, he's only hitting 239 right now. But
and the crazy thing is, last year the only person who really wasn't hot during their time being hot was Nick Castellanos. This year he can't miss.
Yeah,
and then everybody else has fallen off.
Yeah,
baseball's so stupid.
I love baseball.
I got 5 perfect today in MLB show straight to shortstop.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, can we add MLB the show to this podcast?
add MLB the show content. Kale's been grinding MLB the show.
They said, it'll be about 2-3 months. Yeah, it's been 4.5 days, and I'm a dog. My team haven't got a single person under 95. Now, me as a player, I'm still trash. But my team, nasty.
That's all that matters. All that matters. Have good cars. Anyways, hop over to the AL wild card. Casey's Rays are 4.5 games up. Got the solid first piece. Astros have the second spot. Blue Jays have the third spot. And then next we have Mariners, who are 2.5 games back. Yankees are 4.5 games back. Red Sox are 5. The Angels are unfortunately 7 games back. I know I've said it 10 times already on the podcast, but that's honestly one of the most. They are 7 games back. I don't think I've said it enough. But I think that's the most disappointing thing to see after the deadline.
Poor Shohei.
Honestly. Poor Shohei.
Yeah, and
Trout may never make the playoffs again.
A couple years late, but do you remember the big talk about when Alex Cora had to take that year off for cheating allegations, and then because he was such a good manager before, but then, and I think this goes into, golly, now he's with Detroit. What's his name? The manager,
Hinch.
Oh, the guy that cheated.
Hinch. I think that's and I still think they could be good managers because they're ex-players and they're grinders. I still respect them, but as much as I hate to admit it, I think you gotta go with the numbers and 2 different organizations, but with especially Alex Cora.
Yeah.
Was it cheating?
We'll never know.
I'll say. Well, I'll find out when I get to heaven. my first question. All right, Jesus, let me know.
Just tell me. I gotta know.
Give it to me straight.
I don't care. Nothing I don't care what the fruit was in the garden. Just tell me.
Yeah.
Did they cheat or not?
Yeah. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? I need to know.
Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of the playoff picture right now. A good bit of shifting throughout the season, honestly, especially in the AL East. Casey's Rays have been very cold since their hot start. But
hey, they're getting hot again.
Yeah, we'll see.
I finally got pizza twice again in 1 week.
Papa John's.
So,
The Papa John's discount.
Race 6,
Papa
baby.
John's discount. So,
Yeah. I think it's gonna be a fun few months left of baseball, especially with a lot of the hot races like Giants and Dodgers in the West, Brewers, Cubs, Reds all in the Central. Braves are running away with the East. Honestly, the whole AL East is going to be fun to watch, as they always are. The Central is the Central. And then in the AL West is going to be fun to watch the Astros and Rangers duke it out for the rest of the way. So I'm excited to watch the rest of the season of baseball. So I know you guys are. So, but yeah. Any other comments on that?
Fun season. It's been a fun season all the way around. I've just really a lot of teams. I think for the past 3 years, we've seen the same teams be good with the Astros, the Braves, obviously, and it's just fun to see these teams that were kind of tanking, I guess you can say, are starting to finally step back into the spotlight. So yeah, it's been a good season. The races are going to come down to the very last game, I feel like.
I'm here for it.
Yeah. Two things. Because I meant to tell y'all I want to talk about this earlier. Dude, I've been watching Jose Abreu. He's just completely lost it. Like, I feel like he's in Space Jam. These Monstars have taken his ability to hit a baseball. Like, there was a 90. I think it was like 94 down the middle, and he just he was late as could be. And like, I mean, if it was like, sometimes you look for a slider, I get that. But it's like consistently, he just can't hit the fastball.
Getting old.
And I don't like. I mean, yeah, but like you don't lose it that fast. I don't care what anybody says. As a world class athlete, like he was, because I mean, he won the MVP, and yeah, sure, it's Mickey Mouse, I get it. But 2020, like he won the MVP. So, and then two, like talking about how we see these teams and like dynasties and stuff. This just shows you like how. Because there's somebody from the Braves talking about how hard it is to go to the World Series. And even if you win, like, you feel great. But, like, if you lose, how demoralizing it is, because then you got to go through that whole offseason. And it is a grind after playing 162, like 100 and probably 90 games, including spring training, 180, I think it is. And then playoffs. And then to lose. And then you got to start, in
all over again.
Like, it's so hard to keep a dynasty, and that's why, like, we give the GMs a lot of crap for saying why you hold on to these guys or all this stuff. But being a GM, you literally have to think 5 years ahead at all times. Like, I guarantee you, you got to keep up with the roster, of course, but like I feel like that's like option, or that's like fourth or fifth on their list of things that they're doing on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah. For sure.
I think you have to.
Yeah, it definitely makes it more impressive for the teams that are consistently good as well.
Right. Like the Astros have been good since 2017. Dodgers. Braves are getting, Braves are getting in that conversation.
Yep.
And we'll be in the conversation because
they'll be good since 2030. They'll be the new Dodgers.
Yeah. Don't you dare. We'll be the Braves. There is no new nothing.
I mean, Freddie Freeman.
Freaking Braves. Did we go 20 years and win every division? Yes. Did we win one series? Allegedly.
All right. Well,
98 Braves.
Well, I know everybody's been dying to talk about this, so let's jump into Tim Anderson and Jose Ramirez duking it out.
Sleep.
I was, my favorite part was before the whole fight. First of all, he couldn't get his glove off. Fighting for his life to do that. And then he's a right-handed thrower, and he stands like this. Like that's the definition of, my daddy taught me how to fight. Like dude, and the punches were just trash.
Oh yeah. Like I said,
granted, he couldn't hit his face because he's 5'7" and he's down here. But
got his head down.
Boy, when he did you see him after? He's like, dude, I got this.
I got this, and he's stumbling off the field. He can't hold himself up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
he threw his glove and then squared up like it was a high school bathroom fight during lunchtime. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is hilarious. And then Jose Ramirez was just throwing haymakers. All it needed was one to land, and it got him. And he said,
that man sent up a prayer. He got it. You can
yeah, I mean, honestly, okay, in my opinion, the slide, the tag, honestly, I didn't see what...
Nothing really happened.
What he was... I guess he, like, tagged him too hard or whatever. I didn't see anything wrong with it, but then they just got up, started chirping, and then it was go time. So
yeah, I feel like that because, and like he said, he's been disrespecting the game for years. That's just...
Oh, my gosh, I know.
That's like that what's the needle in the camel's back? Like
the straw broke the camel's back. Yeah.
There it is, nailed it.
First try.
Yeah, first try. But yeah, I loved it. That's the thing about whenever there's punches thrown, like legit punches thrown in a baseball brawl. Because let's be honest, 99% of the brawls, it's just the bullpen running in. Yeah, it's just bullpen running in. You're like,
it's just everybody getting in the face.
Yeah. But man, when punches are thrown, I love it.
It literally hits different.
Gets you going.
Fires me up. Yeah, no, it was very cool. I think it was probably one of the better fights I've ever seen. Top 5 MLB fights.
Yeah.
Where would you rank it? Top 5?
5.
Opinions.
4,
5,
5A or 4B.
Okay. So what's your top 5?
Okay.
Or 1C.
My personal, because it was just gangster. Amir Garrett. I'm going to take on this entire
he ran
team.
And took on the whole team.
And the best part, I can only imagine what he said to us. He waited for his coach to get out there, handed him the ball. I'm out, coach, right? Boom, and just getting it. And then he landed some punches. That's the definition. That's the definition of I live this life. Like I'm about this life. Then, like I said, that's just my personal favorite. Then there's Nolan Ryan. I mean, that dude's like 46 years old, just uppercut against the prettiest guy in the league at the time, Robbie Ventura. And just because of the dynamics of it, the A-Rod Veritek fight back in the day. That's like we were talking text messages and stuff. That's the first fight I remember watching. And it was just like I said,
vintage Red Sox Yankees.
Right?
Yeah.
And they hated each other. They were just looking for and A-Rod. Like everybody hated
looking for a reason.
Yeah.
Like and the captain. I mean, it was just perfect. Very tech. And then you gotta go Rugi.
Classic.
That form. He looked like that Manny Pacquiao. Just, I mean,
a little pushback
because and that's why I said to you, you gotta think that's basically a welterweight, maybe not welterweight, but whatever. I don't know the divisions. Lightweight against almost a heavyweight. You know, because Bautista had at least probably 50 pounds on him. Oh, and then you just see those glasses just absolutely fly. And the form, he was going through, and then he was trying to hit him some more.
He got him solid.
Oh my gosh, it was so solid.
Yeah.
And again, during that time, Texas and Baltimore, Jesus Louise, Toronto hated each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, and Pedro throwing Zimmer down.
Yeah, Don Zimmer.
That was a classic.
But yeah, those are my top 5.
Good, solid. Solid.
I think that's a really good list.
Anybody got any adds to it?
Maybe I would say, I don't know if this is because I'm biased, a Marlins fan, but when Gabby Sanchez clotheslined Niger Morgan, that was a good one. Please tell me y'all seen that.
I was thinking about who was the pitcher that pitched forever. He pitched for
who?
Anibal Sanchez.
Yes.
But then Gabby Sanchez, the first baseman. Yeah, I do know what you're talking about now. Yeah, came out of literal right field.
But I don't think that's top 5. But that's.
Who was the fight? I know the Pirates were involved, and that guy got punched in the sunglasses and cut his eye.
His eye, yeah.
Y'all remember that fight?
Was that the Papelbon fight? The Harper Papelbon?
No.
He cried in the dugout. I don't know.
I can't remember who. It wasn't anybody big time. But I can't remember. I know the Pirates. Because, I mean, it was just like punches being thrown, and this guy just called it right in the sunglasses.
And it went right into his eye.
Called him lesson, never go into a fight with sunglasses on, I guess.
I think one of the I think is funny is the Harper Papelbon fight, just because Harper goes to throw his helmet, and I mean that thing goes to right field, not even close to the pitcher.
That's not Papelbon. That's
No, that's a different
Which one
one.
was
Strickland.
That was
on the same
Strickland.
team.
Strickland. Papelbon was in the dugout.
They're on the same team.
That's right.
Because he didn't run
Yeah,
through
that
the
was hilarious.
first base.
He just threw his helmet, and it goes straight to right field.
Have you? The funniest thing about that is, have you ever tried to throw a helmet? Like,
Yes.
I went outside and grabbed my old helmet that's right there, and it's so hard to hold on to it.
Especially
every
with
time.
these two fingers.
I could throw it straight down because I've busted my lip throwing and it busted. Never again. But yeah, I literally I was like, it's not that hard.
Left go do it.
Yeah, I can do that. I can't hit, but I can do that.
Anyways,
I know. I'm trying to think of another one.
I saw one
popular ones.
because after the fight, I went to YouTube, as most anybody would do, and I said I said complications of MLB fights,
Laying in bed, ready.
and it was just and it was honestly just so great to remember like all the old school fights, some fights, like for instance, Nolan Arenado. I can't remember who he went after.
Running for his
but
life.
He plays the Rockies.
yeah, when he was with the Rockies, he came after that pitcher with hair on fire, and if he would have connected with any of those, I think there might have been a funeral on Coors Field.
That guy's teammates literally saved that man's life.
Well, and also that's one thing I love to see about MLB fights. It's never the two guys. It's never the hitter or the pitcher that really get into it. It's the guys that come from the dugouts or whatever. They come running at full speed and they just knock each other. That happened with a Harper and Hunter Strickland. It was Michael Morse and Jeff Samardzija. Because I remember they were talking about the lettuce going everywhere because they just came out on the same team. Just came out of
two animals. Jeff Samardzija was a D1, like All-American D1 Notre Dame wide receiver.
Yeah.
So that man's taking some hits. Dude, do y'all remember? Oh, I just had it. Just keep talking. I remember it.
You remember I was actually watching one where, and I totally forgot about it. It was a reliever that I'm sure none of us will remember, but for the Orioles, took on David Ortiz. Which I don't know why anyone would ever want to do that.
I would not want to touch Ortiz.
See what that man did that phone booth?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Against the
Imagine
Orioles?
that being in your head,
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
No, I remember. Do y'all remember when against the Braves, when Jose Fernandez hit that home run, Brian McCann met it at home
plate,
and then Chris Johnson
at third base,
base running in, like that dude was on crack.
Yeah.
I wanted to trade him that day, which it was funny because I don't know, like if you watch it, Jose Fernandez kind of like spit in his direction.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Like I'm daddy now.
That dude was a dog.
That dude was just like, and then when Brian McCann met him at home plate, he never ran that fast in his career.
No,
he's right in there. That dude had issues. He was going to take steroids or something, which his career didn't show it.
Obviously, yeah. Oh, good times.
But that's MLB.
That's
my
the
favorite all
balls.
time. Have you seen that one where the guy donkey kicks the catcher? It's like in the Dominican League, and then chases the guy with the bat,
and then goes to the pitcher
with the bat, and everybody's trying to like run up to him. He's like, "That's my favorite one of all time."
I totally forgot about that one.
If you got within 10 feet of that man, he was swinging. He was swinging a bat, not punches. Just chases him all the outfield.
Oh, I totally forgot about that one.
And then
good stuff.
One with the Rays and Coco Crisp, James Shields and Coco Crisp.
Yeah,
I've always been I love Coco Crisp, but that move that he put on James Shields, the step back. And then, luckily DeHonor Navarro, he came in and tackled him and stuff. But that was like some Matrix stuff right there.
That was sick. I forgot about that one because he hit with that bull crap.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, back to baseball.
Anyways, I think that was all I had. If anybody else had anything.
We've got another hour and a half. We don't.
I just want to add one thing before we get off.
Oh yeah, don't.
Yeah, you better step up your game. It has to be.
Don't say I won't go to sleep.
Hey, I've already added people for next week, so I'm
Yeah,
ready.
you freaking had already 4 people.
Hey, I didn't need to use all my pieces this week, so I
Okay.
went ahead and
Crap.
got a couple. I didn't have any
I've
pitchers
already got
going
some
tomorrow,
dogs.
so I was like, let me pick up 2. Anyways,
Hopefully I'll get back in the win column this coming week. I'm playing somebody that has nobody on the whole starting roster.
You're playing Casper?
Hold on.
Casey's got a bye week, so we'll see if he
gonna
comes
get a
out with a
win.
Break the streak.
Ethan, we love you, but
Ethan, appreciate it. Do something, please.
empty.
He's got 10 open slots on his roster.
His IL,
Nice.
Nestor Cortez started yesterday.
Oh my goodness.
Got like 30 points.
Oh, we love him. Anyways, well,
So, yes,
thank you for
the
tuning in.
sixth spot is
Tune
still
back
open.
in next week. Yes, 6 spots still open. Taking applications. We've got a few applicants. Tune back in next week to see if Casey pulled out a win. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at Sunday League Pod, Twitter at Sunday League Pod. Follow us on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe there. Leave us a rating on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you find your podcasts. We're there. Yeah, share with your friends, tell a friend.
Send to your
Appreciate
grandparents.
it. That's about all we got. And that'll do it.
Love you.
That'll do it. Bye.
You son of a gun.